Hey friends, this is kind of strange. I really didn't plan to record anything at all today, but I tell you, those rainbows appear on my wall and they just lift my heart. So here I am. Apologies up front for being down. I like to bring you um, a lighter energy than this, but this is what there is, so this is what you get. This is a journal from March 29th, the first one of that day, and the Mayan day was 10 read. I have no idea what will come out here. It's been many days since I either journaled or recorded from the numerous ones already written. Like most of you, I guess, I've been going through stuff, and it hasn't been easy. Not only did I not want to share the really down stuff with you, but also the pain was too bad. No sense trying to do anything at those times. So, where am I now? Truly, I don't know. It's one foot in front of the other time. On the surface, what's leading the way is the whole income thing. Still jumping through Social Security disability hoops. One more left to go. Last appointment is tomorrow, so we'll see how that one goes. Meanwhile, today I had to pick up my car, which broke down on the way back from the Monday appointment. Hey, I'm counting my blessings here. At least it got me there. As always, it could have been worse. A bad alternator, a lost belt, and the total for that repair was about half the car's value. Oh well, at least now it works. Doesn't do any good to have a car that doesn't work. For some reason, I have a real peace around the Friday appointment. A mental eval, would you believe? Oh well. After chemotherapy for the lymphoma, I came out with some mental deficits. Nothing too drastic for social interactions. It's not even usually visible, but nothing an employer would likely want to make allowances for. So I'm relying on truth to carry the day for me. Time will tell. Now, sorry for all that boring stuff. Maybe this won't even be a public journal. I'm not feeling particularly inspired. Still, being in heart has become so second nature to me that it seems to come out whenever I write. Even messages and answers to video comments work like that, and I'm totally grateful too. It's a great way to live, in the arms of the goddess, so to speak, surrendered into that, whatever your name for it may be, it's all the same. It's been hard, really hard. The physical pain has been intense. Stress amps it up a good bit, and I've been a wee bit stressed. Makes me feel stupid in a way that I can't seem to transcend that aspect of things. But there you are. I'm blessed, though, by being able to rest and take it easy, to take care of myself. That part is nice. It's important, too, that we all have a care or a caution about how we're seeing the world. Remember, we're actually in process of creating that. Every thought counts. If we can't get out from under some of the crap, some of the heavy stuff, well, then that's how that is. We can also remember, though, that it could always be worse. I find a simple sort of gratitude is just natural to our inner nature. Look within. You'll find it in there. We are still creation machines. We can be looked at that way. And the powers that were are still doing all they can to engineer the future they want. Poor dears. It just won't be happening for them. Not in the ways they desire, not anymore. Still, they can be hell when you're falling in with their plans. So let's all be alert. All you can do is what you can, and no more is asked or required. It's a time to really look deeply into and at things, look for this. Look for where you're playing the victim in this way or that. Look for where you may be pointing the finger at someone or something, an organization or anything, and turn your vision of that thing within. See it in self. Find it in there. Look for what that represents in you to your life. We've all, every last one of us, been cast into the victim role, and we've played it well. Poor me, wage slave, doing my best, always crapped upon by how lousy life and everything is. Bullshit, my friend. Look again, and again, and again, and again, if that's what it takes. You're not seeing correctly. None of us are. Get out of head and get back down in heart. Take a responsibility there. It's your life. No one forced you to be born. Did you know that? You weren't forced to take your parents on either. You chose or helped to choose them. You chose your birth time. So all of the stars, the celestial beings, would cooperate with what you came in to accomplish. Own your life. No more blaming allowed. That would be a really good belief or rule to take on. When our vision is pointed outward, first of all, we're in mind. That's a given. And that's no good, not if you want to see deeply into things. Mind stays on the surface only. That's all it can do. There's nothing wrong with mind. It's just a surface thing. When we aim our vision inward, though, that's when things start to change. It comes on us slowly at first. There's lots of just looking involved, the old watch and observe thing. And that's all that's called for at first. Just watch and be still. If, as we do this, we will stay anchored in heart, it won't be long before the inner tutoring begins. It's been going on all along. You're just trying to tune into it. It's there, but you've got to be in heart and be still. I call heart intuition central because I found it to be so. I also like what comes to me, the quality of it, while I'm within. So while I'm looking, just watching, pretty soon I start to get inklings of what's behind what I'm seeing there. So I look deeper. As I'm looking deeper, I will likely begin to get more tutoring about what is involved in the whole thing I'm looking at. One that's pretty certain is that it's nothing like I had imagined. It's always quite different, and it's strange how that works. It's generally a challenge at some point not to take action on something I've been told this way. You begin to see through some of the stuff that's been happening in your life. You see where that's coming from. And you also get a hint of better ways to handle things. But that's the mind, you see. Best not to act on it. Not yet. It's still time to just watch and keep watching. Don't interfere with what you see yourself doing. Let it all happen. Just watch. Now, you'll be tempted to change what you were going to say, to override yourself. I don't suggest that. You're not ready yet. I promise you're not. When you act anyway, you'll be able to see how that was mind interfering. That action was mind directed, not heart. I have never found that the mind's wisdom could even hold a candle to what is accessible in heart. So just let yourself be. I mean, there's nothing wrong if you find yourself changing things. I mean, just whatever. Let that be too. Whatever. Don't judge yourself. What, let that be so. Okay, where am I here? So just let yourself be. Just let yourself do. And meanwhile, keep watching. That's the assignment. Can you handle it? It's a bit more challenging than you may realize up front. How not to act when you can clearly see a better way to handle things. Well, it's just challenging. But believe it or not, that's what is called for. See, if you were to do that little act, you would make things on the surface a wee bit better, but you'd cut yourself off from the magnificence that's available if you just stay with heart. You can go ahead at this point and take what you've gained and act on it, and some do that. See, this flow is true, my friends. Even when I go to ad lib, I look at the next paragraph and I've just ad libbed the next paragraph. So there's a truth in this flow. Okay, so you can go ahead at this point and take what you've gained and act on it, and some do that. The thing is, you'll be stopping your progress into higher consciousness that way. And no, I can't explain it at this point. I just see that that's how it works. So what is next? That one is hard because we've gone linear on this. And linear isn't ultimately even real. Still, I do know enough to share a look ahead, so I'll try. I don't know that it's wise, but between us, we'll know. What's ahead is more watching and simple observing. You've got to learn to watch and not interfere, to let the self do what it wants, say what it wants, and just observe. Even when you can think of some supposedly better thing or way, you keep mum. You let the self follow just exactly what it feels like doing. Now, how else are you going to get to know you after all? I mean, if you let mind keep intruding and keep trying to force yourself into whatever kind of a box mind thinks is best for you, you don't know you. Okay. If you're always correcting and outvoting and scolding and mistreating yourself, do you really expect yourself to want to come out and play? Come on, consider this. That's not loving the self, my friend. Heck, that's not even tolerance. Look at how you're treating you. Be in heart for this. It doesn't make good mind sense. So you finally get the hang of just watching while being centered in heart. That last part is so important. You'll never get this from the level or perspective of mind. So you're watching and you're listening and you're learning. You're being sort of spoken to inside. I call it inner tuition. Home of intuition, of course. If you're me, you're almost always being shown what's at the heart of things, what they arise from, be they actions or thoughts. You're being pointed deeper to their origins. And you're finally learning to just let yourself be. Most of us are totally lousy at this. We're always second guessing the self at the very least. It's a mess. Little wonder the real self, the soul of us hides. It gets tired of the abuse. The mind is always involved in this from what I have seen. It's never the heart being abusive. Thus, the more time you spend in heart, the better you get at being simply tolerant, even loving at times. I don't really like going much beyond this. Oh, kitty cat hairs. Because people will try to get ahead of themselves, thinking they're ready for the next step when they're not. That's just how minds work. Anyway, I'll leave that to your heart, I guess, because the next step is you being danced. What you'll find is that you'll suddenly just be watching yourself like usual, when suddenly you'll be taking an action or saying something that you never even thought of before. It will just be happening there in front of you. It will seem to one and all watching that you are doing or saying that thing. Only you will know the difference. It just happened. You didn't think it before it came out of your mouth. That's being danced. Each and every time this thing happens, you'll find that it's quite wonderful what was said or what was done. It will be better than something you could or would have thought for yourself. So be sure to not let ego rear its mental head and take credit for anything. Hey, you know you didn't do or say that, right? Be real with yourself. Even if those around you don't understand, be real with you. There's usually no need to say anything to others about the whole being dance thing, since most of them are not yet equipped to understand. Some may even think you're nuts. The thing, though, is to be true, strictly true to you. Be honest and be straight in knowing what is what and what is and isn't acting there. Now, you'll view this your way. I tend to view it as higher self stepping in. Sometimes it seems more like source. But since source and higher self are one, either one works. You take whatever angle seems to fit to work best for you. Just let's all be flexible in how we perceive these things. No telling one another what they should or shouldn't be doing, thinking, or saying. That's old. And that's important, for the one thing we know we can count on is that everything changes here in 3D. So be flexible. If and as you can keep your seat within heart, your focus directed inwards, and stay still, in other words, be in watch and observe mode, then you'll find yourself being danced more and more. Now, I happen to love it. To me, it's become a love dance, a beautiful waltz with Source. And it's even better than that, though, since when it happens, there are no two to be waltzing. There's just the one. It's really a wonder, precious and dear. It's like practicing falling back into someone's arms again and again. Or it's like practicing falling backwards off of a cliff, just knowing you'll be caught somehow. Whether through parachute or something more magical, it doesn't matter. It's a real trust relationship with Source you'll be developing here. And I know at least some of you can see this. It's really a heart thing, so if you're in mind, then you may as well give up for now. Come back to it when you find your way into heart. And there are other journals to lead you there. This one assumes you start out while centered in heart. Okay, yet another strange journal. Well, that's okay. Hey, it comes to me that journaling is a way you can practice your falling off cliffs thing. When you come to the blank page and don't know what to write and start writing anyway, centered in heart, but of course, then you'll see what I mean about being danced. And no matter what, be sure to enjoy. That keeps you centered, actually. Joy is always in heart. And for those that want to try the journaling thing, I'll draw your attention to how all of these journals start. they start with something really miscellaneous, random, out there, personal, inconsequential, but look what happens after that. I don't understand how or why, just that it works like that. So have a blessed day, a blessed life, a blessed forever.